Survivors of sex trafficking are sounding the alarm here in the city.
They're pushing for law enforcement to take action and arresting those responsible. Fox 5's Lisa Evers joins us live from the Bronx with how they're demanding this change. Lisa?
Well, Natasha and Steve, this industrial area in Hunts Point has long been known as a sex for sale open air market, especially at night. But now a major coalition of groups is coming together to demand a new approach. This woman appears to be soliciting a male driver at a known Hunts Point hotspot for buying and selling sex. Sonia Osorio of Now NYC says sex trafficking has become way too common in other communities as well.
De facto decriminalization of the sex trade, what does that look like? Multiple open-air sex markets in East New York. The resurgence of brothels along Roosevelt Avenue in Queens and Sunnyside. It looks like men buying sex at 8 a.m. in Times Square and the Port Authority.
The leaders say they've seen a dramatic rise in sex trafficking over the last couple of years, and that it affects every demographic group and carries with it a life and death risk.
Last year, we served 450 sex trade survivors, including citizens, non-citizens, youth, and adults. At the Empower Center, we know that regardless of how a person ends up in the sex trade, they face an unbelievably high risk of being murdered and raped.
Organizations that help survivors form an escape plan and start a new life are critical, says Melanie Thompson, who was kidnapped and forced into the sex trade at the age of 12. She now advocates for other survivors.
It is very difficult for individuals who are in the system of prostitution to get out. It is the easiest thing to get into and the hardest thing to get out of.
The NYPD says prostitution and solicitation remain illegal and that they focus enforcement on areas where the community files complaints. An NYPD spokesperson tells us, we have significantly reduced the number of arrests for prostitution itself as we work in every case to connect the victims of human trafficking with the services they need. We have also worked to proactively deter individual buyers of sex.
We're focusing too much on the women and the people that are marginalized instead of recognizing the people that are there demanding the paid sex, the people that are there purchasing and commodifying individuals.
Now, the coalition is calling on police and each borough's DA to take more action and to have coordinated enforcement plans. Law enforcement sources tell Fox 5 that such coordinated plans are currently in the works in response to major complaints from the communities. Reporting live from Hunts Point, I'm Lisa Evers, Fox 5 News. Back to you in the studio.